Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Barrett. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video in the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of the Honolulu Desperados. That's right, we are back, and we are here with our Season 6 off-season. We're coming off of a third straight Super Bowl championship. Can you believe that? 3 titles in a row. And this one we did without Anthony Richardson. In fact, we played against Anthony Richardson in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl. He is quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. We figured that out in the last offseason episode. Well, technically he signed with the Houston Texans, but they already had CJ Stroud, so I moved him to a team that needed a quarterback. That happened to be the Browns, and look what he did. He took them to the Super Bowl in his first year there. Unfortunately, he had to come up against the buzzsaw that is his former team, the Desperados, and he lost in the Super Bowl to us, but he got there, which is pretty impressive. So, with all of that, we won our third title, this time with a rookie quarterback under center, but that's not the big overarching thing about this offseason episode. It's not recapping what happened last episode in the playoffs and kind of just reminiscing and riding the coattails to the new season. No. It's all about the departures on this team. We're going to be losing a lot of our original draft picks from season 1 off season. We're going to be losing Dom Grubbs. We're going to be losing other people. I can't remember their names right now, but we're going to be losing a lot of people on the offensive line specifically. So this is going to be another sad off season, and I think in that last episode I kind of came up with a game plan for how I'm going to treat the cap room for the next couple of seasons into the future. So what we're going to do is we're not going to restructure any kind of crazy contracts for the time being. We're just kind of going to ride out the roster. If we don't win a champ, we've already got 3. So if we don't win another championship in the next couple of years, it's not going to be the end of the world. The fans are already on a championship overload with the 3 straight titles. The dynasty's been built. All we got to do is kind of just do a little little bit of micromanaging, keep the roster somewhat competitive, and then maybe make the playoffs every year, and then, I don't know, just keep the fans interested until we can get through those next couple of seasons where the salary cap is still negative and we're still paying a lot of money to a lot of high-paid players. And then once those guys run through their contracts, then we can really start to ramp it back up, turn to 11 again, and go for another run at a championship. So that's kind of the game plan I'm thinking about here. We'll get more into it as we get into the episode, but that's kind of what I'm thinking about right now. Now, who knows if that's actually going to happen? I don't know. But that's kind of what I'm thinking right now of the direction the team is going to take. But without further ado, it's time to get into this super important offseason episode. We're going to be saying goodbye to a few players, but maybe even saying hello, possibly some better players. Who knows? If you go on to enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's get this Season 6 off-season video underway. So we pick up right where we left off. Re-sign period. But yeah, as you can see, negative $55.9 million. And we are going to have to be saying goodbye to some very important people. We aren't going to be saying goodbye to Harold Lucas, though. We are going to accept the option on him, so he gets to come back. But Dom Grubbs, one of, if not the very first draft pick in Desperado history, will be signing with a new team, unfortunately, just because I can't bring him back. Zaire Shepard is going to be leaving us. Brian Hayden, Dion Ewing, Chris Wagner, one of my favorite linebacker picks that I ever made in the series. DeMarcus Smith is going to be, oh no, he's got an option. He's going to be staying around. Paulson Adebo, who was on the original roster when we started back in Season 1, he's now 30 years old, and he's going to be leaving us. Tim Lashley, I love Tim Lashley. He's one of my favorite defensive players I have on this entire team. Backup strong safety. He was supposed to be the future strong safety starter, but it just didn't work out that way. So he's going to be finding a new team. Joey Howard, Rafael Gomes, also part of that original draft class that we made. He's out of here. Grant Harold is gone. Keith Nugent, Deontay Shepard, one of my backup running backs that we've had for a while. So a lot of our original core draft picks that we made back in season 1 off season are going to be leaving us. But what's that going to do for the team? I don't really know. I think it's going to leave us with a big hole on a few different positions. The offensive line should be pretty good because, yeah, we're losing Deion Ewing, we're losing Dom Grubbs, we're losing Zion Shepard, but we still have... No, we're going to be losing Hayden as well. So, okay, so maybe our offensive line isn't going to be as good. We do have Smith and Chamberlain and Curtis, so we can kind of fill the gaps for right now, but we're certainly going to have to be targeting some offensive linemen in this year's draft just to kind of fill out those extra holes. And this man right here, Jonathan Young, Super Bowl winning quarterback as a rookie, most certainly should be higher than a star overall or star development, but that's totally fine. As long as we can keep our main core of wide receivers for right now, we should be still pretty competitive. And then on the defense, like we said, we're losing Wagner. I want to be losing Budda Baker, but I think he's still under contract for a little bit. This team is very good, but once we simulate this little re-sign period, we're going to see what kind of damage is done. So let's move on. Say goodbye to all those players. Bye Dom Grubbs. Bye Zion Shepard. All of them are gone. Now, where does that leave us? What kind of holes do we have? So we have a massive hole at left guard, but that can be fixed. So Brian Hayden does stay. I could have sworn he said that he was needing a new contract, but he does stay around, so that makes it a little bit better. But we need to figure out what we're going to do with these guys. So DeMarcus Smith is a left tackle. What about Curtis? What is Curtis? He's probably a right tackle, right? Yeah, Antonio Curtis is a right tackle. So one of them is going to move to left guard. I don't know who that's going to be. I guess we could even move Chamberlain to left guard because he's an 80 overall, it says, at left guard. So, you know what? I might just move Eric Chamberlain to left guard, and then he can play there, and we can move somebody up to right tackle. And then the team will be really, really good. So let's move Eric Chamberlain over to left guard. He will fit that spot. And then we have a need at center. We have Norman Hunter, who we got last season. He's a 75 overall with normal development. I don't really want him to be our center. I guess what we could do is have... Is it DeMarcus Smith? Yeah, I guess we could have DeMarcus Smith play center. He's a... What is he, a 76 at center? No, he's a 77 at center, which is higher overall than what Hunter is. I'm going to have Smith play center for right now, but if we draft a center in this draft, then obviously we'll make a decision there, but we'll figure out what we want to do with that. But as of right now, Smith will be our starting center. And then on the defense, we've got Will Booth and Rice. We probably do need to get an extra linebacker. And the corners are now a little bit weak because we have Harold Lucas, who we accepted the 5th-year option on, and we have Deron Bland, but we need to get some backup corners as well. Barnes and Allen are probably not going to cut it, although DeJuan Allen, I remember drafting this guy. I drafted him because of his speed. He was like a pretty good athlete. He's got 82 zone coverage. He could turn into something if he has a pretty good season in Season 7. He could certainly become something. So we've got a few gaps, a few holes to fill. Mainly, it's more of a depth thing, which is what I knew going into this offseason. I knew it was going to be a depth problem. And there's a X-Factor 26-year-old 94 overall corner, Devon Spellman. Where did you play? Who did you play for? How did they let you go? You were on the Texans. Okay, you've had some pretty decent seasons. Few interceptions here and there. Not a lot of tackles, but good enough for a corner, I'd say. All right, he looks like he's a really good player. What's his oops, I didn't mean to sort that. What's his like stats look like? Can I see his stats? So his rating, he's 6 foot. Wow, he's got really good man coverage, really good speed and acceleration. His press is great. He's a little low overall at zone coverage, but that can be grown pretty easily. His awareness is really good. He looks like a really good player. Unfortunately, we don't have any money. But I am curious to see where some of our guys go. So Dom Grubbs, I know he wants to come back. I'd love to have you back, Dom, especially because we need a center. But we're going to let you go. Enrique Batista, I think, was also on my team at one point. He might have been a backup, but I think he was on my team at one point. So we're going to evaluate some offers to see where Grubbs goes. Did he sign? He did. He's going to the Raiders. Dom Grubbs is headed out to Vegas. He wants to go gamble and play football. So congratulations, you got a big contract. How much do they pay him? He's getting paid 21.9 salary, 21.3 bonus, and then a 3-year contract to play out in Vegas. Good for you. Good for you, Dom. I'm proud of you. I'm happy that you're going to go out there and get a bag. So he's going to be out there in Vegas. I wonder if we play the Raiders next season. That'll be interesting. Maybe our offense or our defense can get through Grubbs and sack whoever's behind center for the Raiders. There's some retirements, some more free agents. How many draft picks do I have? Do I have any extra picks? I don't remember. I always forget. No, we have all of our own picks, 1 through 7. We don't have anything extra, and we pick obviously at 32. So that's going to be quite the interesting thing that we're going to have to do here. I probably should spend these staff points. I've got 1,700 staff points. I don't really need to hoard all these. I probably should just buy them, even though they're not going to be really that useful. Let's go down the left side for middle linebackers, I guess, maybe? Yeah, let's go down middle linebacker side. Buy all this stuff. I could probably buy most everything here. Let's get free safeties and strong safeties. Just make sure that the head coach is pretty much as powerful as he can be with all these upgrades and stuff. Got to get the offensive line upgrades. Make sure they're going good. Make sure the center, certainly get the center upgrades. And then increase the quarterback and the running back. Even though Bijan and Jonathan Martin don't really need it. Might as well have it. And then defensive coordinator. Ooh, we must have got a new one. So definitely want to get all this stuff bought out. All that. And then I probably want to boost all the accuracies for the quarterback. Because, you know, I'd be complaining about all that stuff. So if I can have a chance to boost accuracies for a quarterback, I might as well take that opportunity. And what's this down here? Boost catching for wide receivers? Absolutely. My receivers already catch pretty well, but might as well make sure that they can catch even more. Don't really need to boost Bijan, but we should probably boost the receivers. I don't even think Bijan could use a boost. He's pretty much the best running back in the league at this point in his career, which was the goal. This is why last offseason was such a big one, because we needed to bring Bijan back, and we successfully did that. So that was why it was such a important offseason. Let's go down the run block finesse or run block power. Let's go down finesse side. Get all this stuff on. And look at all these staff points I've already spent. I had like 1,700 staff points, and I'm already down to 400. This stuff is crazy expensive. Crazy expensive. But with the strength boost to the offensive line, hopefully that'll help out a little bit. And we must have got a new defensive coordinator as well, so we'll continue to buy all this stuff until we run out of staff points. I do want to make sure that the player personnel tree is all good. So we should probably improve this. Improve all this stuff. Oops, I went down the wrong side. Actually, you know what? I didn't go down the wrong side. I'm fine with this side. We'll get that boosted up. And then we will go down the block shed side for defensive tackles. And now we're already spent. I had 1,700 staff points, and I barely got down both staff trees. We have Kevin Stefanski. Okay. So I guess that shows you how many staff points, 17, or how many things you can buy with 1,700 staff points. All right, so now that I know that we don't have any extra draft picks, we can move on past the free agent period and get to the actual draft. Although I need to take a look at not only the mock draft, but I need to take a look at just the draft in general, just because I kind of need to get a feel again for who's in this class, because I don't honestly remember. So, private workouts. Who's in this class? What do we have? Do I have a board? I don't have a board. I probably should have made one, but that's okay. There's a top 5 D tackle in here. Gerald Frey. If you guys are... Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Okay, hello. If you guys remember, I had a D tackle that was a superstar development tackle for a while, but then, or for a few seasons, but then he left because I couldn't pay him. So maybe we replace him with Gerald Frey. Looks like there's going to be a pretty decent quarterback class, at least off the top. And who are you? Seth Simmons, 6'5" guard. Pretty decent athlete. Okay. I'm intrigued. Now, obviously, if I get my hopes up on one of these higher overall or higher ranked guys, then I'm going to have to trade up, and I don't really want to do that. I don't really want to trade up, but we're certainly going to have to focus on probably getting offensive line help, getting defensive line help, getting corner help. I need to check corner before I forget. How good is the corner class? Is there anybody spectacular? There's a zone corner is the best corner in the class, Quentin Walden. Or at least he's ranked the best corner in the class. He ran a 4.37. He's got elite strength. That's an interesting prospect. How tall is he? 6'1"? I mean, intriguing, but I don't know. 6 foot for this guy, 4.41 speed, A-man coverage, B zone coverage. Okay. Chad Moore looks cool. Danny Gordon. I want to find that guy who ran the fastest, because if Quentin Walden ran a, what did he run? He ran a 4.37 and a 4.33 at his combine. So who ran the fastest? Somebody run a 4.2? 4.45. Deshaun Edwards. Ooh, he looks pretty solid all around. Okay. Maybe he could be there at pick 32. I don't know. Not you. Who's the fastest corner in this class? DeMarco Hendricks. He ran a 4.3 flat. And then he ran a 4.24 at his combine? Or at his pro day, I mean? Oh my God. DeMarco Hendricks. Hello. I am certainly going to be scouting you. I'll remember you. I'm not going to do it now because I want to look at more players, but 4.24 at his combine. That's got to be 98, 99 speed, you would think. You would absolutely think that. And oh, thank God I did outside linebackers. That helps me out a lot. I must have known. Thank you, Past Juice, for remembering that. So Jaden Madden is the best, or the highest ranked left outside linebacker in the class. He is not that good, he's not that good of an athlete. Is there a sneaky good athlete in this class? I guess we'll find out. Josh Tillman looks pretty solid. He's got a finesse moves, a pursuit. There's a day 3 guy. Ooh, here we go. Little diamond in the rough, Dwayne Rose. Ooh. I like Dwayne Rose. We'll have to keep an eye on him. I like him a lot. He could be my 3rd round pick for sure. But as far as right outside linebackers go, DeAndre Wilbon. What do we got here? DeAndre Wilbon, 4.5 speed, elite. Wow, he's got a lot of elites. Ooh, DeAndre Wilbon. I'm finding some gems. Who are these guys? Boogie McMichael? Hall of Fame name. And he's a pretty good player, too. Oh, my God. Okay, so I want to know. These are the final ones I can figure out, so that kind of sucks. Oh, okay. I want to know about... I got to know about that corner. It was Deshaun Edwards, right? Was it Deshaun Edwards? No, it wasn't Deshaun Edwards. It was DeMarco Hendricks. That's who it was. So I want to know a little bit more about DeMarco Hendricks. And I want to know more about... Do I want to know more about DeAndre Wilbon or Boogie McMichael? Probably DeAndre Wilbon. And then we can take a flyer on Boogie McMichael if he's available. That's a legendary name, by the way. And then it was Josh Tillman, right? It was Josh Tillman that was the other guy that I liked. I'm pretty sure. So we're going to scout him. And we're going to find out. No, it was Dwayne Rose. Dwayne Rose was the guy that I liked down at the back. So I don't need to look at him. Who was I looking at then? I could have sworn there was 4 guys that I liked. Was it Josh Tillman? Let me go back and look at him. Nah. We looked at him, but I don't think that was a guy that I actually liked. There was one guy that I looked at that I thought there was a 4th guy. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we can scout all of the guys that I want. So let's get Wilbon, let's get McMichael, and then let's get DeMarco Hendricks. Those 3 guys look really, really good. We'll know 100% on both of the right outside linebackers. We'll know what their true talents are. Unfortunately, we won't be able to know exactly how good Hendricks is, but I think he's going to be talented enough. I mean, he ran, if that's true, that he ran a 4.24 at his pro day, then he's going to be off the charts fast. So let's take a look at those guys. So first off, let's take a look at Hendricks. We got him up to 90%. And he just looks like an unbelievably good athlete. And he's got solid man coverage, press, and zone coverage all at B's. His tackling's a B. His block shed's a B. He's 6'2" as well. This dude looks like a freak of nature. I'm adding him to the board for sure. And then those right outside linebackers. So they're both true to where they're projected. Wilbon is a true round 2 to 3 talent, and McMichael is round 3 to 4 talent, but they both look really good. 5'11" with elite speed. He's got A tackling, A pursuit. I like what DeAndre Wilbon brings to the table, but I think I like Boogie McMichael a little bit more. I like them both. They're both not like phenomenal players. I'm assuming that one of them is going to have normal development, probably McMichael, but I like both of them. I really do. I think they're both going to be pretty solid players. And then I really like this guy, Dwayne Rose, down the board here. A round 2 to 3 guy with 4.5 speed, and he's got A zone coverage. He looks like a really good pass covering outside linebacker, so I'm certainly intrigued by him. But who are we going to take in the first round? I don't even know. It's probably going to have to be that corner, right? Was he round 1 to 2? Yeah, it's probably going to have to be DeMarco Hendricks. We'll have to take a look at mock draft number 5 to see exactly if he's going in the first round or not. But at pick 32, we might not have a choice. We might have to take him. So, okay. I'm very, very intrigued by the defensive players in this class, the defensive prospects. So mock draft number 5, Gerald Frey, I think has been the top pick. Yeah, he's been the consensus top pick, except for mock draft number 2. For some reason, Mac Vick jumped over him, but for most of the season, Gerald Frey has been the consensus number 1 overall pick. Very interesting. He looks like he's going to head to New England. So let's look for anybody that we have targeted. I'm not seeing anybody right now. And it looks like we're going to get away. Yes. So Kendricks is not even projected to go first round. That's really big. That helps me out a lot because then I don't have to take him in the first round, but I probably will. I'll probably take him with the final pick of the first round. All right, so we got a game plan. Let's go and actually start this draft and get things underway here. So let's start drafting and figure out what we got. Patriots have the number 1 overall pick, and they will take the consensus number 1 guy, Gerald Frey. Hopefully he can help the Patriots get back to prominence. Seth Simmons, Vinny McCullough, first quarterback off the board, goes to Tampa. Jose McAllister heading to New Orleans. Mac Vick, at one point, was considered the number 1 overall pick. He goes to Chicago at 5. Luke Emery heading to Tennessee. Greg Brewer, another D tackle off the board. He heads to the Rams, the LA Rams. Yeah. Jaden Madden going to the Giants, so a linebacker, first linebacker of the board. We saw him a little bit. We looked at him at the little section briefly, but he didn't look amazing. He didn't look like a top 10 pick in my opinion, but maybe he's good. I don't know. Philip Gaines, first wide receiver off the board, headed to Jacksonville to try to help Trevor Lawrence. I think he's still there. Quentin Walden, we took a look at him. He didn't look fantastic, but he looked okay. I think Chad Moore honestly looked a little bit better. Clayton Redmond, Justin McGee, Jeremy Felder, hardly know her. Terrell Teal, Carl Weathersby going to Cincinnati. Number 18 is Danny Gordon, corner from East Carolina. Dolphins take Gregory Shepard. So this must be a pretty decent D-tackle class. There's already been 3 D-tackles off the board, including the number 1 overall pick. First running back goes to Carolina, maybe replacing what they lost with Christian McCaffrey all those years ago, Charleston Bowden. Pretty good name. Marvin Wagner, maybe the nephew of Bobby Wagner. Possible. I mean, it's our universe. We can create whatever storyline we want. The nephew of Bobby Wagner right there. You know what? That's what I'm going to go with. Sam Worth headed to the Detroit Lions to go pair alongside Aiden Hutchinson. That could be a pretty decent pairing if he turns out to be good. First Buckeye off the board is Chad Brooks. Nice to see. A little low, but whatever. Terrence Nix goes off the board to the Texans. Larry Lawrence. That's what a name, Larry Lawrence. Going to the Chiefs. Maybe he's the replacement for Travis Kelce. Although we're 6 seasons deep, Kelce's probably gone by now. So maybe they've been searching for that replacement since he's been gone, and they finally maybe found it. I don't know. JT Ogletree, meat chicken wide receiver, goes to the Jets. DeMar Marshall heading to the Dallas Cowboys. Carl Nobles goes to the Atlanta Falcons. We're coming up with our pick. Caleb Ziegler going to the Raiders. He's a Golden Domer. Then you got another tight end off the board. Tim Dillon headed to Philadelphia. Ravens take Casey Rivers, strong safety from South Kakalaki. And you got DeMarco Hendricks, 1 pick ahead of me, to the Cleveland Browns. Screw you, Cleveland. Screw you. You couldn't have taken Deshaun Edwards? He wasn't even projected to go. He was not even projected to go. Well, now, with this pick in the first round, Do we even grab somebody? Or do we trade down and just hope that our guys are available in the second round? That's a big question I have. I don't know. DeMarco Arnaud. Looks pretty solid. I've seen worse. J.C. Keaton. Looks like there could be some good guards in the class. Who's this? Shane Knott. Ooh, is he our center? Maybe I don't have to trade down. Shane Knott could be my center. We might have to pivot to taking a center because I did talk about how I wanted one. I guess I should have scouted centers a little bit better. Vince Messina also looks solid. But I think Shane Knott's got better skills than Messina does. At least we know more about his skills than Messina. Yeah, we know that Shane Knott has B lead block and B finesse, blocking finesse. We don't know that for sure. It's probably that, but we don't know that for sure on Messina. I might take Shane Knott. Let me just do a little bit more due diligence. But I think Shane Knott might be my guy we pivot to here. Looks like the tight end class is still pretty deep. What about the fullbacks and running backs? We already have a pretty decent running back room. Wide receivers. I could use a fourth wide receiver, but I don't think I'm going to be finding one in this class. I think I might take Shane Knott here, and we're going to run the table and roll the dice on those linebackers. But we do get a hidden development center. Shane Knott, welcome to the team. The replacement for Dom Grubbs? Possibly. I don't know. I guess we will find out next season. Do I think that those linebackers will make it all the way to 32? I don't know. I guess we'll play it by ear. If we start to see a run of linebackers go off the board, then I'll have to make my move. But we'll play it by ear. We'll see kind of where the board falls, what teams are taking. And it looks like some of the offensive skill position players are going, so that helps out a little bit. Brian Sweeney heads to the Packers. There goes DeMarco Arnaud. I'm guessing it's Arnaud. It could be just Arnaud, but I'm guessing it's Arnaud. That's how you would pronounce that name. So, or that's how a lot of people would pronounce the name. There goes J.C. Keaton. He did look pretty decent, but I think we obviously needed a center more than we needed a tackle. So, another quarterback off the board. Quarterbacks look like they fell. Okay, so there's a right outside linebacker. Our guys are right outside linebackers, so we need to keep an eye on where they're going to go. So, DeAndre Wilbon is the second linebacker on the board. And then Boogie McMichael's the fourth. So, in terms of actual board, now this doesn't necessarily guarantee they're going to be here, but our guy is all the way down at 23. So there's still 22 guys ahead of him theoretically. That doesn't necessarily mean that 22 other guys are going to go ahead of him. A team could reach and take him. And there goes Jared Donahue. So now our guy, Wilbon, is the top right outside linebacker on the board. We are getting close to our pick. Do I want to risk it for the biscuit? I think that Wilbon is better than Boogie McMichael, but I would like both of them. I would like both of them. I think I'm going to trade up. I don't want to risk. So I'll try to trade up to Dallas's pick right here. It shouldn't be too difficult to trade up from 32 to 26. So if we trade this pick, we go to Dallas. We ask for their pick. Shouldn't be that much of a difficult thing to ask for, and it won't be. So if I give them a 5th rounder in 2031, that almost does it. I bet a 4th rounder does it, though. 4th rounder in 2031 gets it done. So we move up a few spots just to kind of lock in Wilbon. I don't know if he was going to be there. He probably would have been. I just didn't want to risk it. Did not want to risk it. Don't want to have him fall off the board from us. So DeAndre Wilbon, hidden development as well. 87 speed, 90 acceleration, 91 agility. I think he's going to be a good player for us. And we can switch him to left outside linebacker and he can start right away. So I like that a whole lot. And now we have to wait all the way till 32 of the next round, of the 3rd round, to go and grab Boogie McMichael. Although, where's our other guy at? Because there was another guy, that Rose guy. There he is. Dwayne Rose is around 3 to 4. And I think the other guy's around 3 to 4, isn't he, Boogie McMichael? He is. So I don't know what we're gonna be able to do there. That's gonna be a little tricky. Zach Youngblood, that's a good name. Devontae Gregory, Alex Ellison. We already lost the corner, which I'm super upset about, but it led to getting us to center, so I guess I can't be too mad about it because we still got a pretty solid center out of it. Emmett Hodges goes. Now I think McMichael is the top right outside linebacker on the board. That worries me a little bit. Sean St. Louis, legendary name. Raekwon Tompkins. Dwayne Rose. Miami takes Dwayne Rose. I don't think I can risk much more on the other linebacker. Man, I'm losing out on some guys here. They're going earlier than I want them to. Boogie McMichael is the top outside linebacker on the board. He looks good. Do I want to trade up to get him? Because we'd have to trade up slightly more than when we traded with the Cowboys. And Boogie McMichael goes. Oh, we lost out on both of them. Maybe I can make a trade for them in the preseason. I don't know, but that's stupid losing out on both of them. They both looked really good. I'm super upset we lost out on Dwayne Rose because he looked like a gem. He actually looked like a gem. Gerald Baisley, not Gerald. Gerald Baisley. He's got a spec catch. He's around 2 to 3 talent with good speed. He ran a 4.47. Not too shabby. I mean, we turned Lynn Lashley into a solid player, so. And he looks like he's the best guy left on the board in wide receivers. What about Kai Rutland? 6'2". Not as fast. Not as good. Certainly not as good. Is there anybody else? Tyler Henry, maybe? No, not really. So, Gerald Baisley. He's also 6'5". I didn't realize. He's 6'5". Okay, well, I might come back to him. I might come back to him. I just want to check the rest of the board and make sure I'm not missing out on anybody. Sean Cleary. Looks like a fine player. Fine enough player, especially for a day 3 guy. But I don't think I'm missing out on anybody else now that we lost out on those 2 linebackers. We know that these guys are all not going to be amazing, talented players. So that's fine. And I don't think there's any more diamonds in the rough. No, there's not. They could be good players, but nobody that's fantastic immediately, like noticeably. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take that wide receiver. He's 6'5", which really piques the old interest. Gerald Baisley, welcome to the Desperados. Only normal development, but he's got 91 speed and 90 acceleration for a 6'5" big body receiver. That could work. That could be something. It depends on what his overall is, I guess. But that could certainly be something. And now we make it to the 4th round. We don't have a 5th round pick, but we make it to the 4th round. Sam Douglas. Centers in Madden auto-generated drafts are usually pretty good, but this guy doesn't look that great. The 6-foot corner in Deshaun McCord. Not great speed, and I can't take the risk on his zone coverage. He could be. It's most likely B or C, and probably a C at that. So, Juan Ramsey, 6'5" guard, pretty good athlete, but it's I don't know. And this is the hardest part of the draft, is when you get into these round 4, round 5 picks. You haven't done a lot of scouting on these guys, and you just kind of have to hope and pray they're good, but you don't also want to waste a pick. Dylan Knox is 6'3" with poor speed. And okay, see, that's the type of guy you just want to stay away from. Dom May, 5'10", great speed, great lead acceleration. Can't really do much else except for run down the field, I guess. Kyle Russell, is he better than the other center? He might be. He's probably normal development. A lot of these guys are probably normal development is the problem. Dante Jones, 4.5 speed, A press, A catching. The A press and the B zone might get me to draft him just based on that. Because I do need to get a corner. Brandon Stringer, hardly know her. 4.5 speed, B man coverage. Don't know what his hit power is, but it is only high as a B, so that's not amazing for a free safety or a strong safety, really. No, neither of these guys look that good. I think I'm going to take Dante Jones. He's probably normal development, but he's 6'1". He's 22 years old. He's got solid enough speed, and he's got the A press and the A catching. And also, he's got B zone. So, I mean, that's intriguing enough, especially for a fourth-round pick. Oh, and he's got hidden development. I could have bet my life that he'd have normal development. But a sneaky gem in Dante Jones. 90 speed, 90 excel. Okay, that's a good pickup in the 4th round right there. I'm happy about that. We don't have a 5th round pick, so we got to go all the way to the 6th round. A lot of the talent's off the board, but you can find a sneaky good player here. If you see Dylan Knox, I'm glad I didn't take him. He's still on the board. He is still on the board. So we've gotten ourselves our center. We've gotten ourselves our corner that we needed. We got an outside linebacker. All we need now is basically a tight end to back up Pat Freiermuth. But is there going to be anybody that's talented enough to even warrant getting drafted? I don't know. 6'3", Bobby Dalton is probably the best guy left, if we're being honest, because then you got a bunch of guys that are potentially undrafted, and none of these guys are going to be that good, I don't think. So if I need a backup tight end, I'm going to go for Bobby Dalton out of Notre Dame, Golden Domer, 6'3". Not an ideal height for a tight end, but hey, it's the 5th round, or it's the 6th round even. What are you going to do? Normal development, that's fine. He's a body, basically. He's a body at backup tight end, and maybe he can be good in some of the games that we jump into. And now we go to Mr. Irrelevant. We have Mr. Irrelevant in this year's draft. Who's gonna get taken here? Who's gonna be Mr. Irrelevant? Is it gonna be a left outside linebacker, Desmond Taylor? Great speed, elite acceleration, A-man, A-zone, A-catching. How is this guy potentially undrafted? He doesn't look that bad. I mean, yeah, he's got D-tackling, he's got F-power moves. He's a pass coverage guy, right? Yeah. 5'11", with great speed. Desmond Taylor looks better than I would have thought for an undrafted guy. What about Michael Armstrong? Michael Armstrong's a little bit more well-rounded, but I think I'm going to take Desmond Taylor. He's going to be normal development, but having elite acceleration and great speed, I'll take Mr. Irrelevant. He is normal development, which I would have almost 100% guaranteed. 84 speed out of Rhode Island. You don't get a lot of those. 84 speed, 91 excel is crazy. 79 agility. He's good depth. He's good depth. He might get some playtime. Who knows? And he's Mr. Irrelevant. So let's see what we got here. How good did we do? Not good in terms of high overalls, but we got some development traits. 71 overall for Shane Knott at center. DeAndre Wilbon's a 72. Baisley is a 69. Nice. 71 for Dante Jones. That was the gem that I found. I couldn't believe that. Dalton's a 66 and Taylor's a 62. So, okay. So, the overalls aren't amazing, but the development traits might help him out. I don't know. It's hard to tell, especially when you're picking the final pick of the 1st round. It's hard to judge who's going to be that good. And Gerald Frey lives up to being the #1 overall pick. He's an 81 overall. How good were the guys that I missed out on? DeMarco Hendricks is a 77. If he has X Factor, I am going to be so furious that the Browns took him a pick ahead of me. Please do not have X Factor, big dog. He's only got star. Whew. I mean, still upsetting we didn't get him, but we missed a bullet there. He could have had Superstar or X Factor and I would have been really upset. And then the other guy that we missed out on were the linebackers. So I need to go to, it was the 3rd round. It was the 3rd round we got. All right, so let's find these guys. Where did they get taken? Where did they get taken? There's Dwayne Rose. He's a 71. Does he have a development trait? He doesn't. No development trait for Dwayne Rose. I'm not as upset about that. At 71 with normal development is not that bad. And Boogie McMichael's also a 71 overall and also has normal development. I pretty much said that he was going to have normal development, but I was hoping he wouldn't. He looks decent, but now that they're 71 overalls with normal development, I'm not necessarily that upset, and I don't really want to trade for them in the preseason. So, and I don't even think I could. I don't think I have any money in cap room to be able to trade. So, the only guy that I'm really upset about is that corner. The corner is really the only guy that I wish we would have got, and I can't believe the Browns traded, or not traded up, but just reached and took him ahead of us, a pick ahead. Other than that, I'm fine with the draft that we had. We didn't get any big splash overalls or anything, but I'm happy with who we got. We got some nice depth. Shane Knott is actually probably going to start over... Hunter because of that development trait. So we're going to have him start over Hunter. If Hunter had a development trait, we'd be perfectly fine. But we have... who's this guy? When did I get you? Who are you? Peter Britton. I must have got him last year. He's got a development trait. 95 speed, 95 excel. I don't remember you at all. How did you get here? I must have drafted you at some point. I don't remember you, though. I remember Livingston, obviously. You're going to get some little bit more playing time. You're going to move up the board a little bit here. I might even put you over Livingston. You got that. You're that fast. You got that much. You got that development trait. I'm going to help you out. And then defensively, we're going to have... Wilbon being a 72 kind of hurts because he probably should start, but I don't know if he's good enough to start. I'm going to start him. We're going to start... What's his first name? DeAndre. We're going to start DeAndre Wilbon. He's got the speed and acceleration to keep up with players. I just don't know if he's going to be technically fine. But he'll be good. The team still looks good. The offensive line does look a little different now, obviously. But I think it still should be pretty competitive. But that is going to do it for the episode. I'm going to go get the team ready in the preseason, cut down the roster, and then load in the auto-generated draft class for season number 7. I can't believe we're already 7 seasons deep next episode. That's kind of insane. If you enjoyed this video, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.